in any situation, okay, it's a couple of things. Okay, in any situation, you have to look at what you gain, your profit, and what you lose, your loss. Right? What you gain, and what
profit.
Yeah. What you gain, what you get, your profit.
Get profit.
Yeah. What you get.
Gain. Those stuff.
Gain, advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the loss, the disadvantage, whatever, right? And if you look at the situation and there's a big loss, then you made a mistake. You made a mistake. Okay, that's the first thing to do, right? What do you gain and what do you lose? And basically, you don't gain anything. You have to separate you from your company. If you're doing, if the gain is personal, then it shouldn't be in the company. Right? Because you're employing, because it's, you're putting your personal needs before the company needs. That's a mistake. That's the mistake. The mistake is the company has needs and you have needs. These are different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? There's the health of you and the health of your company. And you can't put your needs before the company's needs if they're going to have a negative effect on the company. It's a massive problem. It's a giant mistake. The second thing is trying to employ someone who's useless is a mistake. And
yes, but
basing the success of your business on your success in the bedroom is no way to run a business.
Yeah. It's true. Absolutely, I agree. Inability.
Yeah, you absolutely. Yes, you learn from your own mistakes. Yeah, but at what cost to other people? Okay, because she's going to learn something. But everybody else with a brain already knows what's going to happen. So if you've got a brain, it's what we call a spanner in the works. So, you know this tool that you use for fixing things. A spanner in the works, which was also the title of a really good Rod Stewart album, if you can get a copy of it. A spanner in the works, yeah. So you just take a spanner and you throw it into the machine and the machine breaks down. It's a spanner in the works. It doesn't help. The other obvious issue is the problems are personal, but to solve them you have to depersonalize them. Yeah, I don't like things that are unclear. I don't like that at all. Clarity creates flow in the process. Okay. Forget about what you want and what you don't want. That's a low level of thinking, right? No, I know. Okay. Wants are things that block you and stop you. Okay. Forget about what you want. Forget about it. It's we all go through it, but it's low level thinking. Forget about it, right? Anything involving want, take it and throw it away. Okay? Just forget about it. It's gone. It's gone. Forget about your wants. Right. Because that's a block. Because it's a worry. It's a fear. It's an issue. It's a problem. What you want and what you don't want is not important. What is important is what you need, and that you have parameters, borders, boundaries, limits, and that other people know that. So you can express to people. You can express to people. You can express to people. I respect your opinion. I respect what you are doing. But I also accept the fact that I have limits. Don't pull me in. End. Okay, you're not creating an enemy, right? You're stating your own personal borders and boundaries. You can't respect people who don't have borders and boundaries, because they will change whoever they're with wherever they are, and that's you can't build trust. So, and this applies to all people in all situations, because I was teaching this last week to a group of teenagers. What do you do when your interests and the interests of other people are in conflict? What do you do? What do you do when what you want and what other people want are different things? The first thing you have to understand that what you want is not important. It's not important. But what you have to do is say, I respect you, I respect your opinion, I respect the situation, but I also accept the fact that I have borders and boundaries. Don't pull me in.
It's not a good situation, because for me relationship or personal relationship are more important than business.
The message that you need to send is, would it be okay if I called you later to talk about this? Yeah? Because you know what stress is? Stress is believing that what happens here and now defines everything. Stress is believing that this thing is the most important thing, which is both true and not true. It is very important what you do in the moment, but it is very important also what you don't do in the moment. What you do and what you don't do are both actions. Don't connect yourself to the problem.
It's impossible, I think, no?
No, it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Look, what is impossible... Look, everything is impossible at the beginning. Right? Everything is impossible at the beginning because nothing exists. Everything is impossible. It's always impossible until it's done. How do I sign off all my emails? What's at the bottom of all my emails? Every single email I send at the bottom is written, it's always impossible until it's done. It's always impossible. So it's like if I say you have to disconnect yourself from it, then you say it's impossible. I said, yes, at the beginning it is impossible. But you have to disconnect yourself from wants first. Look, there are levels. There are levels. There's what you want, there's what you need, and then there are your boundaries. Look, express it like this, and I mean this sincerely, right? I mean this very, very sincerely. What you send if there's a problem, you send this message. Please tell me what is going to burn down and who is going to die if we don't solve this today. If nothing's going to burn down, if no one's going to die, it's not a fucking problem, right? Okay, you're connecting yourself to somebody else's problem. And then you're not balanced. Then you're not balanced.
Yeah.
You have to look. There's what you want, there's what you need, and then there's your boundaries. When someone gives you their problem, they're overstepping your boundaries. They're not respecting you. It doesn't matter what happened before. Look, you said, look, when someone says to me, we had a good relationship in the past, right? It's almost irrelevant because the past is dead. You can't go back. You can't change things. You can only do things now and prepare for the future. Look, when somebody says we had a good relationship in the past, it just means things are not good now. I mean, it's just another way of saying the same thing. There's this saying, everything rises to the surface eventually. Everything comes to the surface eventually. You see everything eventually. All the problems become evident eventually. But the other thing to understand is all the problems were always there. You just didn't see them. People are complex. It's not as important to know somebody's good side as it is to as it is to know their bad side. It's not as important because the bad side is what's going to harm you in a person's character. It's not important the person's good side. The good side is harmless. It's important to know the bad side. The bad side of a person's character is harmful. And that's what rises to the surface eventually, because we always meet the good characteristics at first. The message that you have in your phone that you send to people when they present you with a problem is this: please tell me what is going to burn down and who is going to die if we don't communicate about this today. Right? What is there that can't wait till tomorrow? Okay, look, the only thing that can't wait till tomorrow is, if someone's bleeding to death, right? Or the cancer needs to be cut out now or something like that, right? It's the only thing that can't wait. Why is their emergency your problem? Look, you want, in the problem, you want to be the doctor, not the victim. Not the casualty. You want to be the doctor. You want to be the person who disconnects yourself from the problem, but is still there to help. Look, everything I've told you is general. I'll tell you how I deal with it personally, right? Look, here's my personal perspective. My personal perspective is, in 5 years, will it matter? That's what I ask.
5 years?
In 5 years, will it matter? In 5 years, will it matter? Will it be important in 5 years? That's what I ask myself.
Will it matter?
Yeah, will it matter? In 5 years, are you going to remember the fact that you had this conversation and that you sent this SMS and that you were here? Are you going to remember that? Is it going to be important?
Yes or no?
Hmm?
I don't know.
then you need to get as far away from this person as possible. Because revenge destroys everybody in its path. Revenge takes no prisoners. Revenge burns everything to the ground. Right, tell me I'm wrong. I mean, that's what happens with revenge. People get hurt. Innocent people get hurt. Look at Iraq. Innocent people get hurt. Look at Iraq, right? The American government wanted revenge for what happened? Like 5 million innocent people died. Revenge destroys everyone and everything.
Revenge for what?
But it doesn't matter, look, I mean, revenge is your inability to let go.
Yeah, it's true.
So you can't help people in that situation because they have to let go. The tighter you hold on to something, the less control you have. You distance yourself from the negativity, but you make yourself available. I didn't say disconnect, I just said distance, right? If somebody else is on fire, you know, you can offer to help them, and if they don't want the help, then you distance yourself because you get burned. And the crazy thing is that if you don't get burned, then somebody else is going to get burned anyway. People are going to get burned anyway. People are going to get hurt. And you know, it's kind of like a hurricane. You just have to step out of the way. Yeah, now,
It's problem because
okay.
people are very sensitive.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, sensitive is ciclivi. Yeah. Okay. Look, the problem is that help creates obligation, right? If someone helps you, you feel an obligation to help them. Is that correct? I don't know. If someone helps you, you normally feel an obligation to help them.
Yeah.
Right. Not. Yes, it's normal, but we have to understand that not all help is helpful. Not all help is helpful. And the creation of obligation, which is automatic in virtuous people, you're a virtuous person, therefore you feel the automatic obligation to help someone who helped you. Yeah, maybe the best help that we can give people is to not be involved in their problems. Now, if we're involved anyway, I mean, it's. Anybody can distance themselves from any problem at any point in time. They just have to make that decision, which is the levels. Look, level 1 is what you want. Level 2 is what you need. Level 3 is I have boundaries. Don't fuck with my boundaries.
Boundaries are borders?
Yeah. Level 1 is I have wants. I want this, I want that. You know, it's the woman walking through the shopping center, sees the nice dress or the nice shoes. Oh, I want those shoes. Yeah. Okay, needs are more foundational. That's your Maslow's hierarchical pyramid of, you know, the basics of life that you require. But then you've got this element of safety here, with the higher level thinking is, what are my boundaries? And when someone crosses over, when someone brings their problem into my territory, how do I handle that? And their problem is going to cause things not to be balanced. You have to be able to say, I respect your problem, but I also accept the fact that I have personal boundaries. This is help is not help if it's dragging you down and having a negative effect on you. Stress. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is not all help is helpful, right? If you feel an obligation to help someone because they helped you and the help that you want to give them is causing you stress, then the whole situation is negative. Other people are going to make bad decisions. All you can do is say to them that you know, you can put things on. There's a number of things you can do. Actually, you can put things on the line and say, if you're going to do something, do it now. Right? But I think the best thing to do is not to put more pressure. Is to introduce time. Okay, so I was watching NASCAR last week because this is my relaxation. I like to watch people do stupid things. And I was watching NASCAR, and so these guys are driving 200 miles an hour around this track, risking their life. And you know what happened? It started to rain. It started to rain. Yeah? Well, what do you think happened next?
Crash?
No. NASCAR stopped the race and said, we continue tomorrow.
Interesting. It's about safety? Interesting.
Fuck the TV, fuck the viewers, fuck, there's a higher level of thinking. It's a higher level of thinking. In order to protect your future, you have to make decisions about people's safety, which is a decision about integrity. It started to rain. It's like, okay, what do we do now? It's like, okay, we make a decision now. Okay, we stop the race and we will continue again tomorrow if it's dry. And you know what? Everyone is happy and everyone knows the right decision was made. Because it was the right decision. Yeah. Nobody gets injured, nobody gets hurt. Everybody's got time and space to deal with the problem. The greatest problem with problems is time. Everybody wants the problem solved now. Like any Buddhist monk will tell you there's only one problem in your life. There's only one single problem that exists in your entire life. Breathing.
What?
Breathing.
What is it?
Yes. Yeah. It's the only problem you've got. Because if you stop breathing, you're dead.
It's true.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so that's why when Buddhist monks have problems, you know what they focus on? Breathing. And only breathing. Because that is what sustains them in their life. It's that single fundamental basic thing. Nothing else. I mean, nothing else is really so vitally important that it's going to affect your life as much as that one thing. So, if you notice when a problem comes, what happens? Your heart rate increases. Your brain activity increases, your heart rate increases, your breathing increases, your people become nervous, they lose self-control. It's difficult to focus. Get back to basics. Get back to basics. Self-control. This is crazy because there are different levels of execution. It means getting things right, but in the sense of when there's problems, there are levels of things which need to happen right now, because if they don't happen right now, it's kind of a problem for people. And an example would be, World Cup football match, right? It has to start at this time, all the people have to be there, everything has to be organized, there has to be a backup plan, all the cameras have to work, you have to have everybody in position. Okay. And that's fair enough, but that's like a bigger process that forgets the fact that individual people are involved in each process, and it's the process that's important, not the people. Because you don't when you're watching a World Cup match on TV like I was last night, you're not thinking about the people. You're not thinking about everyone who's involved in creating this great event. You're also not thinking about the fact that FIFA make $5 billion from the World Cup. And most of it is through tax breaks and tax credits. It's a really interesting business. So there are problems that we have to deal with within life, but a lot of the problems come from the fact that boundaries are crossed. Your life is your territory. What you choose to let into it is what you choose to let into it. It's a choice. It's nice to want to help other people, but it's like they get themselves into those problems. And they want to they want to use other people sometimes as chess pieces in their game. And I think the way that we avoid this is that we share information with people about what is happening. We remain open about things. Yeah. The trouble is, people are often pretending things that are not real are real. It's like, oh well, this is about this is about the work and the job, and it's like, no, it's about personal gain and benefit. Personal gain and benefit. Get it right. Right.